Okay, can you guys hear me now? Testing one, two, three. Can you guys hear me? Good morning. I'm not going to continue until I know that everybody can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Good morning, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me? Testing one, two, three. Okay, thank you. All right, good morning, y'all. It is the world's first and only dark skinned activist, Rashida Strober. I am the creator of the very first platform in history to advocate against dark skin discrimination, or what I call darkism. Some people might call it colorism. I created a platform called Dark Skin Activism in the year 1998, before there was social media. And it is the first platform to focus exclusively on the discriminations that dark skinned people face. Dark Skin Activism is a brand that I created, the first of its kind, and it is built around books, plays, social commentary, and the performing arts regarding only dark skin. I am the first artist, author, and social commentator to focus my work only on dark skin and colorism. As such, I've written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world. My books include A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, How to Be the Hottest Dark Skinned Chick on the Planet, which is the first motivational book for dark skinned females, Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, and A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober Story. I'm also editing my newest book called Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober Story, because I want to give people the true history of how the topic of colorism and dark skin became popular. Prior to dark skin activism, there's only two people that talked about dark skin exclusively, and that was myself and a woman named Cola Booth. From 1998 until 2009, before there was social media, before the prevalence of social media, I was building a platform by writing books, going around the country speaking, and going around performing my plays about only dark skin and doing what I call darkism talks. And by 2009, I brought the first colorism or dark skin channel to YouTube. No one was talking about it online except for maybe scholars like Dr. Margaret Hunter. But dark skin activism was actually the first platform to focus exclusively and methodically on only dark skin. I brought it online in 2009 and continued to work to build a platform. By 2014, Tommy Sotomayor got wind of my work and he invited me onto his platform to talk about my dark skin activist agenda, which was never done before me. Again, people were not talking about it on social media. By 2015, as a result of the work of dark skin activism, which includes darkism counseling and colorism counseling, which I had been engaged in for years prior to there was ever a social media. I just brought my work online. There was a post that I made that came to fruition because a client of mine asked my opinion on Kendrick Lamar and his light-skinned girlfriend. I went to my social media and I stated my opinion, and it went viral to millions around the world. As a result, Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club made me Donkey of the Day for calling myself the dark skinned activist, which people thought was crazy because they never heard the words before and they didn't understand this colorism talk and this dark skin talk because it was never done on social media before I did it. No one talked about dark skin on social media before I did it. So Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club made me Donkey of the Day, and millions of people on social media, Black people on social media, they began flocking to my channel and they got wind of what I was doing and they thought it was something that was crazy. They said, this doesn't make any sense. So in the years after 2015, a funny thing happened. The same people that said that I was crazy for talking about dark skin and colorism exclusively, they began to plagiarize and copy my work. And that is the reason why you see people on YouTube now talking about dark skin and colorism. And you even see people on reality TV talking about it. It all started from myself, Rashida Strober, the dark skinned activist, the first person to make colorism a topic, the first person to make dark skin a topic online, including on YouTube and any form of social media, and forcing the agenda to go out to reality TV. People don't give me credit for it. People have plagiarized and ripped me off, but it's all a part of the story of the dark skinned activist. And I just want people to understand that anyone that you see speaking about colorism or dark skin, it all stems back to my original work that I brought to YouTube, the first dark skin channel, the first colorism channel, the first person to boldly speak out about dark skin, because nobody before me cared about it. They didn't create channels. They didn't write books. They did not care. I'm the first person to create a platform. Now, the phrase dark skin activist, I created that phrase. It is my brand name. Okay. The word darkism, I created or coined darkism because colorism did not go far enough. Colorism deals with the impact of skin tone on all colors of Black people, whereas darkism deals with the impact of being dark skinned on dark skinned people. And I, Rashida Strober, coined or created the word darkism. Alice Walker in the 1980s coined colorism. So I just want people to have that history, because a lot of people have plagiarized and ripped off my work, and I'm giving you the real history. So I want you to look out for my upcoming book called Inventing Dark Skin Activism, the Rashida Strober story, where I will be presenting the history of how colorism and dark skin became a topic online through my original work as the dark skin activist. Now, with that being said, I have a play that I wrote back in 2006, before there was social media, and I created the Dark Skin Activist Tour to present the play, and I'm bringing the play to you online. You can watch it online from anywhere in the world. Now, Dark Skin Woman's Revenge is a one-woman play that I wrote, directed, and produced, and I also play all 5 of the characters in the play. There's 5 dark-skinned women in the play. I played them all. I will be performing this play about dark skin. It is the original, unique, authentic, raw, real experience of what it's like to be dark skinned and female in America. This play has been on the DC Black Theater Festival. It's been on the Atlanta Black Theater Festival as well. It has won the Playwrights Red Carpet Award for Actress of the Year for one of the characters, Georgiana. So this play is an award-winning play. It is a play that's been in existence for years before there was social media. This play has told the story of what it's like to be dark-skinned. You can catch it on June 26th, Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch it online. You can go to my website and purchase a ticket for $44.99. The website is darkskinactivist.com. Now, if you are in the Atlanta area where I will be performing at, you can come out if the coronavirus quarantine is not in effect anymore. So you scroll down and you can see you can purchase the tickets for the Atlanta in-person tickets. Now, the location is at the White Label in Atlanta, Georgia. And the address is 349 Decatur Street Southeast, Unit M. And the time is 7:30 p.m. And right after the performance, I'm going to do one of my classic Darkism talks right after the show. So that is the context I want to give you, because for those of you that might be new to the channel, you're going, why are you talking about Twinkie and her skin tone? Well, that's the context. All right. So now let me provide you guys with another context so that you can clearly understand the dark skin activists. And this is the picture of Twinkie, by the way. And I will be periodically looking at the chat. I will be periodically looking at the chat and seeing what you guys have to say. But let's go back to Twinkie. Now, you guys got to understand, I grew up in a Pentecostal church. And if you ever get a chance to listen to my play, I released it online for free. It's called A Dark Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story. You can go and Google it or YouTube it, and you can listen to it for free. It's an audio movie that I created back in 2006. And it tells my story. So a part of my story is growing up in a Pentecostal church. My mama was a Pentecostal Christian. And so that's why this movie, this biopic on Lifetime, it interested me so much. And I was like, wow, shout out to Queen Latifah. I believe it's Queen Latifah that produced it. I think Mary J. Blige and Missy Elliott. If I'm getting their names wrong, correct me. I apologize, because I got a lot of respect for it, because the Clark sisters, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not a fan of gospel music like that. But the Clark sisters, they hold a special place in my heart, because these sisters, their music is probably the only gospel. It's the other group I like too. The ones where the two sisters are performing. I can't think of their names right now, but y'all gonna drop it in the chat and it'll come to me. But the Clark sisters are probably the only gospel group that you'll ever catch me listening to. Now, my mama, she did like James Cleveland. She liked him. She used to listen to all the gospel greats, Shirley Caesar. But the Clark sisters, they are the group that they are the only group that I would probably buy their music and listen to. Okay. And it's because they could sing, not sing, sang, S-A-N-G. Now, I grew up in the Pentecostal church. My mom was a Pentecostal Christian, and she's somewhat of an evangelist. And, she just, I wrote about her as well, but I'm not going to get too much into her story, but it's a story behind these women that they got a backstory. And my mom is the quintessential, because she, in her story, is why I am the way that I am. And the irony is, my dad was a Muslim from the Nation of Islam. But I'm going to talk about my mom's side today, because this is why I'm so touched to speak on the Clark sisters today, and the biopic, which I adored and enjoyed. And it was just amazing. And it was fabulous. And the lead actress that played Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, she was brilliant. That sister right there, awesome. I mean, she played that role to a T. I loved it. So shout out to the producers, shout out to Lifetime, shout out to Queen Latifah, like I said, shout out to Missy Elliott, Mary J. Blige, and all the producers that's behind that, because the Clark sisters was a part of my childhood. I went to a church. Now, mind you, I'll just try to give y'all a little backstory real quick. I went to a lot of churches growing up in terms of the Pentecostal churches. My mom was kind of like a traveler. She was, I don't know what she was searching for. I don't know what it was, but I got 5 brothers and it was me. She had 8 kids, 2 of them died. So it was 6 of us left, and we would travel around to different churches. And she would always like to go to like the Pentecostal tent meetings, the revivals, where they lay hands on you, the Holy Ghost, and you fall out. And she shouted. I grew up in that, y'all. If you go and listen to my play, A Dark-Skinned Girl's Triumph, the Rashida Strober story, I have incorporated remnants of that in there in my play. So the Clark sisters obviously were a part of that, because what it was, my mama, she traveled around. Shout out to Ella Brinson. It was a little storefront church we used to go to. Ella Brinson and his wife, he was a dark-skinned man. His wife was brown-skinned. May they rest in peace. They both passed away. But I have memories of these people in my head, just Holy Ghost shouting in these little storefront churches. And then when Ella Brinson when he passed away, my mama we just floated around. In fact, when we was homeless, we lived in the church annex at St. Jude Holiness Church, where when we didn't have no place to stay, they let us live in the church annex over there at St. Jude's Holiness Church right here in St. Petersburg. It still exists. Eventually, now we floated around to a lot of Pentecostal churches before we finally landed at the one I'm finna tell y'all about, where the Clark sisters, they really, because it was a lady there named Sister Baker. And if you, Sorobia, shout out to you, you're still in St. Petersburg. If you ever watch this, because I know sometimes you watch me, if y'all ever watch this, your mother reminds me, Sister Baker could sing her ass off. Her and Sister Faith, they could sing. They used to sing the Clark sisters songs, and my mama used to play the Clark sisters records. I will never forget it. So after floating around to all these different churches growing up, the Pentecostal churches, they was only the Pentecostal. We didn't grow up Baptist. The Baptists were a little bit more bougie. Y'all, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in poverty. We ain't had no money. I'm just keeping it 100. The Pentecostal folks was a little bit more on the poverty side. That's what it was. Okay, I'm giving y'all my story. This is my mama's side. And my mama is a would-be evangelist. She always wanted to be an evangelist. She did dib and dab into having her own church. And my mom she a Leo, very bossy. We always bumped heads. I'm a Capricorn. And you know, I learned this stuff later on. And I'm just like, listen, you can't control us like that. We bosses. So I used to bump heads with my mama as I got to be a teenager. Because, you know, it's that Leo and that Cap colliding. And that's like, nah, you can't boss me around. You got to respect me. I got my own lane. And that's how it always was. But I'm giving it to y'all raw today, giving y'all the backstory of why I love the Clark sisters so much. So after all this bouncing around, going to revivals and different Pentecostal churches we went to and all the stuff we used to go to, this lady lugging 5 kids around, and people used to say, there go that lady with all them kids. And I used to be so embarrassed and all that. But through all of that, one of the good memories I had, I'm going to tell y'all the 2 good memories I had when we finally ended up at the Holy Ghost Church of God, purchased with his blood, where Bishop W.D. Hosey was the pastor. May he rest in peace. He was a good man, a wonderful man. And his wife, Mother Hosey, may you rest in peace. All right. I love those 2 people. We finally ended up at the Holy Ghost Church of God, purchased with his blood. That's the full name of it. Shout out to everybody that went to that church. And if y'all ever, because some of y'all be watching me on YouTube, if y'all ever watch my videos on YouTube, I got love for y'all because I got some fun members of that church. Y'all showed us love that a lot of the other churches didn't show. Y'all seen this woman with all these kids. Y'all took us in. Y'all took us under y'all wing. There was Darkism there. It was one person there that was full of Darkism. I ain't gonna say your name, but I might make a whole live about you because I saw what you did. You thought you was all that. You was dark skinned. You ended up with a lighter skinned woman, and y'all thought y'all was better. And I got a story to tell about you, but I ain't finna talk about you right now on this live. I'm gonna talk about the good stuff. All right. So when we finally ended up at the Holy Ghost Church of God, purchased with his blood, pastored by the late W.D. Hosey and Bishop W.D. Hosey and his wife, Mother Hosey. And she was a beautiful, darker skinned woman. And he was kind of a darker skinned man. He was very happy, always smiling, would give you a hug, made you feel loved. Just a wonderful human being, him and his wife. I love them to death. I'll never forget them. And they were the personification of Black love. It was in that church, Mother Hosey. She took me and my 5 brothers at the time, and she wanted to do a choir. And she always wanted to be a choir director. And she made a little choir out of us. And I would, preach and give sermons and all that. And I would sing. I never thought I could sing. I was just going along with what other people wanted to do. I'm not a singer, but I do appreciate wonderful, great singers. But there was a lady in the choir, Sister Baker and Sister Faith. They could sing their ass off. They was on the level of the Clark sisters. And they sung. I'm finna tell y'all my favorite Clark songs of all time. Is My Living in Vain? Oh my God. I'm telling you, fire. Is My Living in Vain? And You Brought the Sunshine. Oh my God. You know what? I would have to, if I had to like pick one, it would be Is My Living in Vain? And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because that's the sound that I heard at that church. When Sister Baker and Sister Faith started singing that song, and shout out to Rashida Miller, because that's your mama. Oh my God. Rashida went on to be a great singer in her own right. Shout out to you. But your mom, oh man, they was on that level of the Clark sisters, and they was saying that song, Is My Living in Vain? Oh my God, y'all. Listen, you're gonna find some of the best singers in a Pentecostal church because they ain't with all that cute stuff. Okay, I seen them run around, foaming at the mouth, sweating. They don't care. You're gonna get the real raw deal. I seen it all growing up in the church. And so when I seen the biopic last night, I was like, the Clark sisters, oh my God. I stopped what I was doing and I watched it. again, I must say shout out to the producers. So don't take this as shade, y'all. Do not take the title as shade. I am not throwing shade, okay? Because I absolutely adore the Clark sisters. They are a part of the soundtrack, the gospel soundtrack of my coming up, of my Pentecostal upbringing. And that's the only group. And my mama loved her some James Cleveland. She used to play him all the time. And she loved what's the other, dang, I said her name earlier. Shirley Caesar, Pastor Shirley Caesar. She loved him. But my favorite was the Clark sisters because they just had those harmonies. They say it's the Clark sound. They had those soprano. I mean, just like, man, it's like candy to your ear. Like you ain't gonna get no better than the Clark sisters. So I am so happy that like these sisters deserve to have this biopic made about them. And the Clark sisters, if I can remember all their names, you had Karen Clark Shear, you had Dorinda Clark, Twinkie. Twinkie was like the writer, the blood, the lifeblood of it. Jackie Clark, and then you had Denise Clark, who we got on the screen. And I love them all because I mean, y'all, listen. And I think that they hail from Detroit. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, but I wasn't really thinking about all that when I was growing up. I was just like, I like the way they sing. That's all it is. You know, when you're a child, you hear something that you like. I love their voices. We talk about sisters with voices, you know, SWV, shout out to them. I love SWV, but these was the real sisters with voices, y'all. If you ever get a chance to go and listen to the Clark sisters, y'all need to go listen to them. Let me tell y'all, go listen to Is My Living in Vain. Go listen to Is My Living in Vain. And Sagittarius Gold said, you said not a fan of gospel, but some gospel sounds good. This is what I'm saying. I'm not a big fan of gospel either. But the Clark sisters, they're on a whole nother level. They're on a whole nother level. So that's the thing. The vegan athlete said, I grew up Pentecostal apostolic, so you know what it is. I'm pretty sure you probably have been exposed because what would happen is the really good singers in the church, like Sister Baker in my church, over at the Holy Ghost Church of God, and Sister Faith, they were the ones, Sister Faye, Faye, Faye is what I'm saying. They were the ones that was like the really good singers. And Sister Thella, she was also the youth choir director, one of the most wonderful people I ever met in my life. And some of these people, y'all want to allow me and say, oh, you don't like light-skinned people. Some of them are light-skinned. Sister Faye is dark-skinned, and her sister's like on a lighter brown skin side. And I loved them. They were great people. Oh, the second thing I liked about the Pentecostal church, at this particular Pentecostal church, they used to have Sunday dinner. Oh my God. They used to have Sunday dinner. Great singing and Sunday dinner. Listen, you cannot beat it. But yes, so growing up in the Pentecostal church, I'm pretty sure that you probably heard somebody either covering the Clark sisters, that is my living in vain. I know I'm a bad singer, but I don't care. Is my praying in vain? Is my fasting in vain? Am I wasting my time? Can the clock be rewind? No, of course not. It's not all in vain. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, if you hear a really good singer sing that song like the Clark sisters, you'll fall in love. So I'm not a fan of gospel music like that either. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Y'all know I always keep that 100, but I'm a fan of the Clark sisters. I will listen to them because they can sang. And I'm a fan of singers, not singers, singers. You got to be able to sing when you deal with it. I'm just gonna tune you out. But these ladies here, classic. They are so deserving of this biopic. I believe that TV One also did an unsung on them a couple of years ago. Let me tell you something. I really enjoyed listening to the songs and watching the movie last night, and it was just wonderful. So I hope they put it on YouTube so y'all can watch it. But if y'all don't get a chance to check out nothing from the Clark sisters, please go listen to Is My Living in Vain and You Brought the Sunshine. Oh my God, those two songs, amazing. brilliant. They like my favorite singer of all time in my top 5. I got 2. I got Donny Hathaway as number 1. I got Lauryn Hill. I got Stevie Wonder. They're in my top 5 because they can actually sing. And it's like, wow. It's like, dang. I don't want to cuss because we talking about church singers. So I'm gonna keep it clean. I ain't gonna cuss today. But anyway, yeah, so that's the backstory to why I'm even making, because I don't make videos about stuff I'm not touched by. People ask me to make videos all the time. If it don't touch my soul, if it ain't got none of these ladies are a part of my childhood, of my formative years. So when I seen that biopic, I was like, I gotta watch this. So let me just talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I liked in the movie. So let's go to, this is the actress right here, and I am probably going to mess up her name. I think it's Ajuwan Ellis. If I mispronounce her name, I apologize in advance. And I guess she must have gained some weight because she actually looks younger than the mother to me, Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. But this is the actress that played Dr. Maddie Moss Clark in the biopic. This woman deserves an Oscar for that role. She was absolutely brilliant. She was past brilliant. Okay. And I'm a person that appreciates great acting. I think that Viola Davis and Meryl Streep, I think those are, I would probably have to list them among my 2 top favorite actresses just based on their talent. I go off the talent. And this young lady here, she was just amazing. She was just, I mean, she even looked like, if y'all see the real, let me see if I can pull up a picture of Dr. Clark. If y'all see the real Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, if y'all see the real version, she looks like her. She looks so much like her. Look at that. That's the real Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, right? And this is the actress that played her. Look, can y'all believe that? Can y'all believe that? That resemblance is like uncanny. Oh my God. But her acting was just superb. Superb. And it's I'm a very nitpicky person when it comes to actors. I appreciate great actors that don't act. They just are the character. So it's hard for me to give somebody a compliment. Trust me. This woman, Miss Ellis, let me go back to her. She was brilliant. She was absolutely brilliant in this role. Like, oh my God. Y'all got to go watch it. All right. So now here's my criticism. Let's go back to, I know I got a lot of stuff open here. This is Denise Clark right here, y'all. Now we could clearly see that Denise Clark is not dark skinned. She's not dark skinned. Okay. We can clearly see that. Now let's go and look at the actress that played Denise Clark. Her name is Raven Goodwin. This is the actress. Now y'all tell me, this is kind of reverse darkism in a way. It's reverse darkism because number one, the original person, Denise Clark, is clearly brown skinned and she's not dark skinned, but this actress, Raven Goodwin, is dark skinned. The only criticism that I have of this movie is I did not like the fact that they cast a dark skinned woman to portray a character that they portrayed as a problem character, because that's how they portrayed Denise Clark in the movie. Even at the end, when Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, their mom, passed away, Denise came to the funeral, got up on the stage and cut up. And she had her 7 boys like on the left of her while she was on the stage at her mother's funeral, as if to say, I'm gonna do what I want to do, you know, because they seem to have had a problem with her having a lot of children outside of wedlock. They didn't like that. They felt like, and I'm gonna use this term, black sheep. That is a negative term, a darkest term, a term filled with darkism. When you call somebody the black sheep of your family, that's darkism. And that is the way that, you know, they cast Denise. And they didn't cast Denise as a brown skin or a light skin actress. They used a dark skinned actress to showcase the black sheep of the family. That's darkism. And this is my own, y'all got to understand, I love this movie because it is filled with memories of my childhood. The sound of the Clark sisters is what I'm saying. And so to see their story being told, the women that I listened to growing up as a kid, to see their story being told as an adult was an amazing experience. But at the same time, this criticism of darkism in this movie, by first of all, you use an actress that's not even dark skinned. And you use an actress that's dark skinned for a person that's not dark skinned, but you use the dark skinned actress because you spoke negatively about her. Now, all the other sisters, they didn't really speak negatively about them at all. Even Twinkie, the actress that played Twinkie, she was sort of darker than the real Twinkie, but it was more of a sort of a sympathetic thing that they had towards her because, you know, Dr. Clark really liked her because she was like her protege. You know, she was the one that was carrying on the family name in terms of the talent, writing the music. So she was seen as more empathetic. And, you know, she did leave the family to go be with her husband and get married and live her life. But Denise is telling that they chose a dark-skinned woman for the sister that they saw as the outlaw, the outlier, the bad one, if you will. You understand? And that's darkism, y'all. That is my only criticism of this movie. That is the only thing. It's like it's always has to be when it comes to black folks. It always has to be some form of darkism to rear its ugly head. Always. And y'all, this is just my critique. Y'all listening to the critique of the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. I created this lane. I invented this lane. Now, don't be surprised. Y'all always say I'm crazy. But don't be surprised if you hear somebody else do a commentary that's very similar to mine. They might call it colorism because that's what they do. They won't call it darkism because it'll be a dead giveaway that, oh yeah, you are plagiarizing Rashida Strober. Oh, you did go watch her video and you are plagiarizing. But what they might do is call it darkism after they watch my video, because people steal and copy from me all the time. You understand? But this is my original thoughts and commentary. And that's what I thought immediately when after I watched the movie and started to analyze. I said, wait a minute, knowing I'm a fan of the Clark sisters, I know who they are. And I looked at this, I said, why they got this dark-skinned actress playing Denise? Denise is not dark-skinned. And then to add insult to injury, you picked a dark-skinned actress to play what you deem to be the worst sister, because that's what it was. Let's keep it real. Y'all could go and watch the biopic. Denise was portrayed as being the wild one, the promiscuous one. She went out, and had the kids out of wedlock. She had multiple children from multiple men, unlike Karen Clark Sheard, who's very beautiful. Unlike, what's the other? Dorinda. Unlike the other sisters who got married. This was the one. She had to be dark-skinned. She had to be dark-skinned. That is my only criticism. But I am not going to allow that criticism to cloud the beauty of this biopic. Don't get it twisted now. As the dark-skinned activist, I had to make this video. I had to point that out. I had to. Because Denise Clark is absolutely brilliant. Every last one of the Clark sisters are absolutely brilliant. Do not misconstrue what I'm saying. I love them. And I just feel like if you're going to tell the story now, why y'all couldn't this is the real Denise right there. Why y'all couldn't get an actress And that's the reverse darkism. Because why y'all could not get an actress that was closer to the skin tone of Denise? Okay. This is Denise as an older woman. That's her. The Clark sisters. There go Denise again. I'm trying to see if I could pull up some pictures where y'all could clearly see Denise. She's not dark skinned. She is on the lighter side. She's not light skin, but she's definitely not dark skinned. She's not. So why would you have this Raven is her name? She did a good job. No shade. But why would you have this actress play her? Hold on, y'all. Back, y'all. Okay. So as I was saying, this is the real Denise Clark, but this is the actress that played her. Why couldn't y'all get an actress that was brown skinned to play her? I just think that it's very disingenuous that you would choose. And here's the sisters right here. As y'all can see, the Clark sisters are kind of like on the lighter side. Okay. So, they're not, and Denise Clark is not in this picture, but they're kind of on the lighter side. They're not really dark skinned. They're not. It is what it is. And I don't understand the casting with Denise Clark. It just does not make sense. It doesn't make sense, y'all. But other than that, I do not have any other criticisms of this movie. I thought it was an excellent depiction. It made me feel good because it took me back to my childhood. Just the music itself was just like so brilliant, y'all. Yeah, Melody Sims says she's caramel. I'm tired of this darkism. Why can't they just find another caramel woman to play her? Exactly. That's all we asking. Give a caramel woman an opportunity. Give an unknown caramel. Just like I argue, I say the same thing. I say, listen, if like with Nina Simone, for example, where they got, what's that actress name that didn't look nothing like Nina Simone? My argument was, give it to an unknown dark-skinned actress so that they can get some money, so they can get some fame, so they can get some notoriety. Give it to them. I'm gonna make the same argument because I like the Clark sisters so much. I think they did them a disservice by not getting a caramel, as you say, Melody Sims actress to play her. And I think that they're doing dark-skinned women a disservice by making it seem like all dark-skinned women are bad, are promiscuous, because all the light-skinned sisters, they got married. They weren't promiscuous. But the dark-skinned sister, which was played by the dark-skinned woman, should I say, a miscasting. The dark-skinned woman just happened to be played as this stereotypical baby mama, doesn't want to listen to the parents. She was, she got into an argument with their mom, with Dr. Clark. She wouldn't sign the contract. It's just all around betrayed as being the, no pun intended, the black sheep of the family. That's darkism. So it goes both ways, y'all. It goes both ways. So with that being said, that's pretty much what I had to say. I love this movie, and I agree with you 1,000,000%. Black American Princess. You said the Clark sisters paved the way for Yolanda Adams, Mary. They sure did. And to me, they're probably the only gospel singers albums who I would buy. I am not a fan of gospel music. Now, Mary, they can't sing. I ain't gonna lie, but the Clark sisters to me are on a whole nother level. It's just that harmony. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what it is about their voices. It's just amazing. Like there's nobody like them. So I just really, 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 really have a lot of respect for them. And, you know, the Darkism with the miscasting of Denise Clark with Raven, that's her name. Shout out to you, Raven. You did a great job. But they shouldn't have cast you to play a caramel woman, as Melody Clark stated. They shouldn't have. That's my only criticism of this movie. Otherwise, kudos. I hope it comes out on YouTube and you guys can watch it and get into their music, because these women are so brilliant. And Twinkie Clark, brilliant. Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, may she rest in peace, because without her, there would be no Clark sisters. Like, that woman is brilliant. I love the music that she put forth with her daughters. I absolutely adore it. I thank God for her. She's brilliant. May she rest in peace. And I just cannot say enough good things about the Clark sisters and their music. And I just love their music. Like I said, it is the gospel musical soundtrack of my youth. I grew up listening to covers of their music in church. I grew up listening. My mama used to play them all the time. I love the Clark sisters. That's what it is. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch. Make sure y'all go check out the biopic and honor their legacy. Shout out to them. Also, I just want to remind you guys real quick that on June 26th, you can watch my play online. You don't have to leave your home. You can watch it right from the comfort of your home. I'm going to be performing my one-woman play. I play 5 dark-skinned women. It takes talent to do that. I played not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 dark-skinned women in A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. It's going to be June 26th, Friday. Save that date. Mark your calendars. June 26th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch it from anywhere in the world through pay-per-view live stream. So here's what you do. You go to my website, which is darkskinactivist.com. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Once again, it's darkskinactivist.com, and you can buy your tickets. So once you get to my website, you scroll on down, you click that buy now button if you want to watch it online. If you want to watch it, if you want to come out to the venue, if there's no quarantine for the coronavirus in effect, you come on out to the venue. I'm going to be at the White Label, located at 349 Decatur Street Southeast, Unit M in Atlanta, Georgia. And you scroll on down and you click that buy now button. You can buy the tickets for the in-person tickets. And again, the date is Friday, June 26th. Now, there's going to be a Darkism talk, a classic Darkism talk that I'm going to be giving right after the show. So I want you guys to, attend that, watch that. Now, if you want to support the production of A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, because folks, I got to pay for the venue. I got to pay for the travel. I got to pay for the cost of the live stream setup. I got to pay for the marketing. If you want to help to cover some of those costs, because I'm a self-producing independent artist, I got to raise money. Here's what you do. You go to my GoFundMe. I'm going to drop the link in the chat box. My GoFundMe link is also in the description to this live, but you can also Google Rashida Strober GoFundMe. You can also go to my Cash App and make a donation. My Cash App is $Rashida Lala. Once again, $Rashida Lala. You can also go to my PayPal and make a donation or a contribution. And my PayPal is icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. Okay, so you got a choice. You can Google Rashida Strober GoFundMe and contribute there. You can go to my Cash App at $rashidalala, or you can go to my PayPal, icecreamladydream@yahoo.com. And once again, the funds go towards the production of my show. So I want to thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure y'all join me and watch my play, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, on June 26th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make a contribution and go watch that biopic. Go watch the Clark Sisters biopic. It is fire. It is fire. They are an amazing, in my opinion, the best gospel singing group of all time. I love them. The world's first and only dark-skinned activist. I'm out.